Exodus 36. Skilled workers and designers. So Bezalel, Oholiab, and every skilled person to whom the Lord has given skill and ability to know how to carry out all the work of constructing the sanctuary are to do the work just as the Lord had commanded. Then Moses summoned Bezalel and Oholiab, and every skilled person whom the Lord had given ability and who was willing to come and do the work. They received from Moses all the offerings and Israelites has brought to carry out the work of constructing the sanctuary, and the people continued to bring free will offerings, morning after morning. So all the skilled workers who were doing all the work on the sanctuary left and what they were doing, and said to Moses, "When people are bringing more than enough for doing the work the Lord commanded to be done." Then Moses gave an order, and they sent his word throughout the camp. No man or woman is to make anything else as an offering for the sanctuary. And so the people were restrained from bringing more, because what they already had was more than enough to do all the work. The tabernacle. All those who were skilled among the workers made the tabernacle with 10 curtains of finely twisted linen and blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, with cherubim woven into them by expert hands. All the curtains were the same size, 28 cubits long and 4 cubits wide. They joined 5 of the curtains together and did the same with the other 5. Then they made loops of blue material along the edge of the end curtain in one set, and the same was done with the end curtain in the other set. They also made 50 loops on the curtain and 50 loops on the end curtain of the other set, with the loops opposite of each other. Then they made 50 gold clasps and used them to fasten the 2 sets of curtains together, so that the tabernacle was a unit. They made curtains of goat hair for the tent over the tabernacle, 11 altogether. All 11 curtains were the same size, 30 cubits long and 4 cubits wide. Then they joined 5 of the curtains into one set and the other 6 into another set. Then they made 50 loops along the edge of the end curtain in one set, and also along the edge of the end curtain in the other set. They made 50 bronze clasps to fasten the tent together as a unit. Then they made for the tent a covering of ram skins dyed red, over that a covering of the other durable leather. They made upright frames of acacia wood for the tabernacle. Each frame was 10 cubits long and a cubit and a half wide, with 2 projections set parallel to each other. They made all the frames of the tabernacle in this way. They made 20 frames for the south side of the tabernacle, and made 40 silver bases to go under them, and 2 bases for each frame, 1 under each projection. For the other side, the north side of the tabernacle, they made 20 frames and 40 silver bases, 2 under each frame. They made 6 frames for the far end, that is, west end of the tabernacle, and 2 frames were made for the corners of the tabernacle at the far end. At these 2 corners, the frames were double from the bottom, all the way to the top, and fitted into a single ring. Both were made alike, so there were 8 frames and 16 silver bases, 2 under each frame. They also made crossbars of acacia wood, 5 for the frames on one side of the tabernacle, 5 for those on the other side, and 5 for the frames on the west at the far end of the tabernacle. They made the center crossbar so that it extended from the end to end, at the middle of the frames. They overlaid the frames with gold and made gold rings to hold the crossbars. They also overlaid the crossbars with gold. They made the curtain of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and finally twisted linen with cherubim woven into it by a skilled worker. They made 4 posts of acacia wood for it and overlaid it with gold. They made gold hooks for them and cast their 4 silver bases. For the entrance to the tent, they made a curtain of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and finally twisted linen, the work of an embroiderer, and they made 5 posts with hooks for them. They overlaid the tops of the posts and their bands with gold and made their 5 bases of bronze. The Ark. Exodus 37. The Ark. Bezalel made the ark of the acacia wood, 2.5 cubits long, a cubit and a half wide, and a cubit and a half high. He overlaid it with the pure gold, both inside and out, and made a gold molding around it. He cast 4 gold rings for it and fastened them to its 4 feet, with 2 rings on one side and 2 rings on the other. Then he made poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with gold, and he inserted the poles into the rings on the sides of the ark to carry it. He made the atonement cover of the pure gold, 2.5 cubits long and a cubit and a half wide. Then he made 2 cherubim out of the hammered gold at the ends of the cover. He made 1 cherubim on one end and a second cherubim on the other. At the 2 ends he made them out of one piece with the cover. The cherubim had their wings spread upward, overshadowing the cover with them. The cherubim faced each other, looking toward the cover. The table. They made the table of acacia wood, 2 cubits long, a cubit wide, and a cubit and a half high. Then they overlaid it with pure gold and made a gold molding around it. They also made a rim a handbreadth wide and put a gold molding on the rim. They cast 4 gold rings for the table, and they fastened them to the 4 corners where the 4 legs were. The rings were put close to the rim to hold the poles used to carry the table. The poles for Alright. The poles for carrying the table were made out of the seal wood and were overlaid with gold, and they made from pure gold from the articles of the table, its plates and dishes and bowls, and its pitchers for the pouring out of the drink offerings. The lampstand. They made the lampstand of pure gold. They hammered out its base and shaft and made it flower like cups, buds, and blossoms of one piece with them. 6 branches extended from the sides of the lampstand, 3 on the side and 3 on the other. 3 cups shaped like almond flowers with buds and blossoms were on one branch, 3 on the next branch, and the same for all 6 branches extending from the lampstand. And on the lampstand were 4 cups shaped like almond flowers with buds and blossoms. 1 bud was under the first pair of branches extending from the lampstand, the second bud under the second pair, and the third bud under the third pair. 6 branches in all. The buds and the branches were all of the one piece from with the lampstand, hammered out of pure gold. They made it 7 lamps as well as its wick, trimmers, and trays of pure gold. They made the lampstand and all its accessories from 1 talent of pure gold, the altar of incense. Then they made the altar of incense out of a seal wood. It was square. It was square, a cubit long and a cubit wide, and 2 cubits high. Its horns of one piece with it. They overlaid the top and all the sides, and the horns with pure gold, and they made a gold molding around it. They made 2 gold rings below the molding, 2 on each of the opposite sides, to hold the poles used to carry it. They made the poles of a seal wood and overlaid them with gold. They also made the sacred anointing oil and the pure fragrant incense, the work of a perfumer. All right, catch you tomorrow.